This episode of the production channel is sponsored by CLEMCO. Visit clemco.net for all of your freelance, independent contractor, entrepreneur, and small business needs.
Needlz. Cain from, was it Lansing, Michigan?
Correct. Yep. Right.
Oh man. You give me all your titles. Music producer, business owner, what else you got?
Dad, husband, owner of a new label, businessman, entrepreneur, that's pretty much sums me up.
I've seen your dad's record catalog.
Yeah.
Is that, how did you get into music? Is that where it started for you?
Yeah, so my pops, he's a bruh too.
Okay.
He always had a collection of records, a lot of jazz and blues, and ever since I remember, he's always had a basement full of records, and that's where he would spend his time, after work. I had 3 other brothers, but for some reason, he used to always kind of single me out to help him kind of like move his speakers a little bit to the left. I was the guy he used to always call upon to kind of him out down there. And although back then I really wasn't into music, it was just always in the house. I didn't really catch or get that bug to go into music until I saw this movie Juice.
You got the juice now.
And I just thought the main character was really, really cool. He was dating a girl from In Vogue, and he just had he had a really dope demeanor about himself. And
yeah.
After that, I was like, I told my pops I wanted to DJ, and he was like, well, if you get straight A's and, for a few semesters or whatever, then, I'll get you some turntables. And he was actually excited about it, I think. And I did that. He got me the turntables. And it's almost like the rest is history. I just went to DJing the prom and DJing all kind, everywhere I could, DJing little local parties and stuff, selling mixtapes.
I know an artist is not defined by their catalog. At the same time, you got a pretty nice catalog. so I want to let the people know and understand the value in that's going to be had in this conversation here. So give us a couple of songs that have been a part of that you produced.
Bruno Mars and 50 Cent to Drake. I guess some of my more notable songs have been Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars. Did that 2010, I think. Mm-hmm. Ended up being #1 song in the world, and it's continued to do really, really good. Piggy Bank for 50 Cent.
Yeah, I'm going in
for Drake, Wayne, and Jeezy.
Yeah,
Jeremiah. Yeah, that's like a sleeper. I really love that record. All my records, or all my biggest records, they're all kind of like love songs. So that record, B&B Rock Selfish. I got a new record coming out with this girl named Foray. That should be pretty dope. So, and then once again, it's another love song. So
yeah. Oh, Ring, Cardi B.
Yeah, Cardi B, Ring. Man,
it's like you just forget them. You do something like from a camera operator standpoint, right? I think about all the sporting events that I've worked, or all the conventions that I've worked. It's like, yeah, you just do so many of them. You kind of. It's not like I got that list.
Yeah, I don't run around and I don't like play the records all the time and stuff like that. I'm just, more focused on what's next.
All right, so DJing proms, DJing everywhere. Your dad got you your turntables. Go to Florida State. Actually, you go to FAM first, right? Yeah, FAM. You're DJing at FAM, getting your name, doing your thing. Come over to Florida State. We meet, connect, pledge to fraternity, and you're still DJing, doing your things. When did you really start making those connections and thinking about grad school and begin thinking about where you were going to take your career from there?
Well, before I went to Florida A&M, I got offered because I used to play ball, um,
Which
uh,
ball?
basketball.
Okay.
I was pretty good. I got offered a lot of like it was like D3, D2 schools or whatever. And NYU was actually one of the schools that kind of, sent letters.
Mhm.
And I just noticed back, even when I was in high school that they had a music program, but my parents were like, it's too expensive. I think it was like a partial scholarship or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, I'll go to FAM and major in business. And I thought that because I was a DJ and I was kind of doing my own thing, business that sounds like something I could do. But it took me 3 years to into the program. It shouldn't have taken that long, but it took me 3 years into the program to realize that it just really wasn't my passion. And I remember being in my little cheap little apartment and like listened to some Wu Tang and just really I just like broke down crying. I was like, what's going on? I just wasn't happy. So I made that decision then, like, okay, I want to continue to do music, but I want to learn more about it and figure out how I can make a profession out of it. I never really thought DJing was going to be my profession. It's not like back then wasn't how it is now where DJs can make millions of dollars.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, all right, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of Florida. I want to go to New York where I felt like a lot of music opportunities would be. So my goal, honestly, was to go to Florida State because it allowed me to graduate earlier than stay in this 5-year program. The goal was always to make it to New York. I just made myself a nice little portfolio and applied for school when I got in.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even realize you used Florida State.
I definitely did. That's why, my time there was very like, I didn't hang out a ton. It was just really focused on
the next.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think the highlight probably is, pledging and that experience. But I was gone the semester after I crossed.
You went to school for business, right? And I feel like that was one of my downfalls, but not knowing to take business classes and not knowing that this is something that I should pursue, knowing that my goal was to be an artist or be whatever the case, right? That understanding of business, even though you knew that's not what you wanted to focus on for your career, how that has helped you as the business owner, and even before being the business owner, the independent contractor, producer, DJ.
My major at FAM was business administration. Then I went to Florida State, it was marketing. Then when I went to NYU, it was music business.
Oh, wow.
With my NYU experience, it was just getting that overall understanding of how records are made, how people make money, how A&R, what does an A&R do, what is all the different parts. And I guess the biggest for me was the internship. I did my internship with Puffy at Bad Boy.
So when you did your internship, he was Puffy?
He was Puffy. He was Puffy. I think he was Puffy. He was dating J-Lo.
Okay. Because, I mean, we got all the different names.
Diddy, Love, Puff Daddy. I think he was like, he might have been Diddy. It's like right around that time. He might have just switched to Diddy.
So when you see him in the office, what do you address him as?
You know what's crazy is so he had different parts of his company. You know what I'm saying? We were on Broadway in New York, and I worked in a part of the company that managed his producers. So it was called Janice Combs, and I was there a lot. Like I was basically in charge of not in charge, but interning, helping each producer under his production company not only get work within the label, but other places as well. So they would always send music out to Def Jam and all these, and I was in charge of. What was dope was I got a chance to listen to all the music that all these producers were making, so I got a chance to see what level of they were making, and I was kind of sending the stuff off. So I didn't see him a lot. I would see him like in the elevator. It was always a big deal. Everybody like, if he moved, it's like he's in the building. It's like it was like it was a lot of drama. Now, one thing my internship taught me as well is that like I don't want to do that either. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be on the business side either. Although, once again, I think it's always helped me that I've had that foundation from being, from fam, just knowing how to conduct myself,
Mhm.
how to introduce myself, how to ask questions to, Florida State, just the marketing side, how to kind of be seen and some of those marketing principles into with the business administration side or the music business side, just the overall kind of understanding of how things work. All of those combined with that internship and my network, which I think is probably one of the biggest things you go to school for that people don't
Mhm.
really think about, but that's huge. Like your network of friends and people and frat bros and all that stuff is that's the stuff that can change your life.
I have a newsletter that I produce. It's called the Onward and Upward newsletter. And the article that I just wrote or that we just did was about networking and how important it is to build that network and to maintain those relationships. I mean, shoot, like you said, you graduated the semester after you crossed,
Yeah.
and you crossed in what, 1999, right? Was it spring?
Fall.
You were fall. Okay, yeah, I was fall 98. You were fall 99. That's right. Yeah, fall 99. And then you graduated, what, spring 99? I mean, spring 2000?
2000, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And so here it is, 2021, and we still connected.
I feel like we still connected, and obviously it's the Iota Delta bros, but it's bros across the world. In every sense of the world, we're doing something.
So you're building your own studio now. Give us some stories of that journey.
I just like to be in control of my surroundings. I like to be in control of everything. You know what
So
I
you're a
mean?
control freak. You got control issues.
Yeah, I got control issues because I like to set myself up for success. You know what I mean? I don't want any outside forces to prevent any of my clients from not getting the best of me and my team. This new place is going to allow me to have more than one room, which is very important because a lot of times the way, if you have one room, if you have a session or if you have an artist come in, you're concentrating on that one song. And the way I work, when an artist comes in, I do like an introduction, really give them an idea of what we're shooting for, introduce them to my team as far as my engineer, whatever songwriter I choose to work with that artist that day. And it takes a good maybe 45 minutes to really get the idea going.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it's a lot of waiting. I let people do their own thing,
Yeah.
and then I come in at the very end and say, "Oh, well, you could do this or you could change this," as opposed to, being next to him, like, "Oh, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to, you know what I'm saying? You sure you want to use that color?"
Right.
I try to wait for them to get their ideas out. With this new studio, I'll be able to do this times three. Like I'll have an artist in this room. Then I
Mm-hmm.
can go to the next room and have multiple sessions going.
It doesn't sound like control to me. It sounds like efficiency.
Yeah, it's probably more like being efficient. Is that
Yeah, because you're giving people the freedom to discover and find their own story and their own way of expressing it, and then you're copying in and helping them to influence in a way that you understand from being really good at what you do, traveling and doing the work as a producer would. How have you been intentional about maintaining that balance?
since my wife and I had our first child, I think it's really grounded me and it's always just shaped me in a way that I've always had kind of one foot in the industry and one foot out in the sense that I haven't gone too hard as far as, having multiple nights of coming home at 4 in the morning and,
Mm,
it may happen every once in a while because if it's a project that's really, really due, but it's something that's very important to me. My family and making sure my kids have a father that is there and have, you know, input in their lives. This is the type of industry where you kind of really have to put your all, like you have to really fully immerse yourself into it.
Yep.
So the fact that I've been kind of teetering and still been able to be successful to me has been a blessing in itself. I haven't had to, you know, move to LA and, you know, pack my family. I haven't had to do all um, these things. I just definitely, although I could work all day and I love what I do, I definitely pull myself from here and or from the studio and make time for my kids.
Because you already saw it and experienced it through your own childhood, you created that lifestyle for yourself and for your family. That's pretty dope.
Sometimes I think, oh, well, you know, if I would have spent more time or did this or really, really got embedded in the industry, I may have been more successful. But at the end of the day, you want to have people there to share it with, and you know, people in the industry know me as the family guy. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, there's Needlz. He's a good family guy. You know, which is not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing at all, man.
So yeah, I'm blessed to have been able to maneuver this.
Yeah. I just love what you do with your work. And I love that you're being intentional about, even with your family and about your career and about your studio. What's advice that you give to younger students, and what's advice that you would give to your younger self?
I would say the biggest thing is learn how to be prepared for whatever is coming, you know, for you. I think preparation. I think you gotta also be patient, you know, in your dreams, and just realize that you're on God's time. I think, you know, I kind of operate where like my life has already been laid out for me, and you know, I don't think God's gonna like let me down. So if something happens to me today, or if I, you know, fall and break my leg, I was like, it was just meant to be. I was meant to break my leg. That's kind of how I live my life. So I think once I developed that whole thing, that whole sense of just like it was meant to be, and it is what it is, and life's a roller coaster, and learn how to deal with the ups and downs. Like my life has become a lot easier, and you know, really, really get good at your craft before you just jump out there and say, "Hey, I'm a producer," or "Hey, I'm a, you know, photographer." Like get really, really good at what you do. Compare your work to other people in the sense of not copying, but compare your work as far as like, is this the same quality or better than what this is? You know, before putting yourself out there, because you don't really have that many opportunities to make a first impression. You want to make that really count. And prayer, you know, that always gets me through hard times, because I'm in an industry where there's a lot of ups and downs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of times where things are going good, you're on the charts, and then there's times where you don't have anything coming out for a long time, and you know, it's being able to navigate those ups and downs that really has built a lot of character.
I was going to end it, but you touched on something. As an independent contractor, as a business owner, we deal with inconsistent cash flow.
Oh my God.
and then especially like, you know, my jobs, you know, I get paid nicely, but I don't get paid like a music producer get paid. So how you manage those sky high moments, and then those dips?
I think it's really hard, and then especially when you have a family to feed as well. You know what I mean? And you know, like you said, my wife's an entrepreneur. You know, you want to be able to help everybody out. You want your kids to be in, you know, private drum lessons, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
boxing lessons
and all kinds of stuff. So
boom, 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 boom.
So it's like, you know, when I get paid, I never know the amount for. Well, I have about 4 streams of income, all within. Like if I sell a track, I get paid by just them just using the track. Then I get paid for the song being on the radio. Then I get paid publishing, which is like a broad every time it's played, maybe on the internet and all different type of places, I get paid from that. Then I get another stream of income from when how many albums are sold, or there's not really albums anymore, but how many times people have bought that.
How many spins?
Yeah, now it's streamed, not how many streams.
Streams, yeah.
I guess the way I prepare for it is to pay stuff ahead of time.
So, but like, okay, so, but like starting off, right? Starting off, let's say, I mean, we're just going to throw out numbers just for the sake of, you know, helping people to kind of to gauge something. So we say you starting off in the industry, you sell a track for maybe like $5,000, right? You feeling good about that?
Yeah, that's exactly how much my first track was.
But before you even get to that point of selling your first track for $5,000, you already got to have another job to sustain your way of life, and you making tracks on the side, right? Mm-hmm. You have your lifestyle, you have your budget, right? Mm-hmm. For your apartment, your food and all that, and your job is paying for that. And so that's like, we'll do like that 90%, 10% split. Your job is sustaining your way of life while you're building your career. You get that $5,000 track. It's like, okay, cool. Don't take that $5,000 and then try to add to your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Let the job sustain your lifestyle. Take that $5,000, put some off to the side, but then use some of that $5,000 to reinvest in yourself so that you can continue to grow that aspect of your business. And then it becomes 80 or 90, 10, 80, 20, and you get to that point where it's like 50-50. And it's like, okay, how far do I want to go? Because then it's like, I can get rid of this other job or minimize it to a part-time as I begin to continue to expand this other career opportunity, entrepreneur situation.
You can read about it, but I think the best lesson in life is going through it. And having that $5,000 and thinking you're paid and then blowing it.
Blow that shit and then like
broke as hell for a long ass time, thinking more money's gonna come like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I learned those lessons the hard way, you know, very early on, and I've done better, definitely stretching things and having, you know, realistic goals.
Well, I'm always excited about the opportunity to connect with you whenever, you know, we talk, whenever I come to town. Thank you for taking your time and being a part of the production channel. So until next time, chatter.
All right.